What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're here with the second episode of the TidBit Sports Podcast. Obviously, episode 1, jam-packed, lots of action. This video, though, this podcast episode, can be a little quicker, get to more action, more news that happened. Obviously, today's Wednesday, on September 19th, 18th, whatever. But it's Wednesday, heading into week 3. Got to recap all your news you need to know, injuries, signings, some comments from players that happened. Actually, resigning as well, defensive coordinator. I'll get to that in a minute. But we're going to start real quick. We're going to kind of knock out my power rankings. I listed that. It's on our TikTok. Check it out, TidBit Sports on TikTok. Also, as well as YouTube Shorts, and there's a full video. But for those of you that couldn't catch that, I'm going to list it quick. If you want to hear my reasoning a little bit more in depth, you can go ahead, watch the full video. That will break into that. But to start out, though, my first team I had 32nd ranked, the worst, is the Chicago Bears. Next, the Arizona Cardinals. Next, the Houston Texans. Next, the Indianapolis Colts. Next, the New York Giants. Next, Carolina Panthers. Denver Broncos. New England Patriots. Los Angeles Rams. Minnesota Vikings. Tennessee Titans. Green Bay Packers. Cleveland Browns. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Pittsburgh Steelers. Los Angeles Chargers. Washington Commanders. Los Angeles Rams. Seattle Seahawks. Atlanta Falcons. That's a surprise right there. Cincinnati Bengals, how far they've fallen. New York Jets without Aaron Rodgers. The Jacksonville Jaguars. The New Orleans Saints. The Detroit Lions. The Buffalo Bills, despite their Week 1 failure. The Miami Dolphins. The Baltimore Ravens. The Dallas Cowboys. The Kansas City Chiefs. The Philadelphia Eagles. And then first place, the San Francisco 49ers right there. It's a long list, all teams, though. Obviously, a lot's going to change. It's only week 3, heading into week 3. We've only played 2 games. Most of these teams, 1-1, 2-0, 0-2. Not a lot of variance, so it's hard to make a full accurate prediction. But that's what we're going with right now. That way we can kind of see how the list starts to fall, starts to rise as we move on towards the season and as well as the playoffs and Super Bowl. But our first bit of news, we're going to start in Chicago, our worst-ranked team. They've had 2 things happen today. First off, defensive coordinator Alan Williams, he resigned. He's no longer with the team, effective immediately. They've not found his replacement yet. And there was also some rumors online that, for whatever reason, people were saying there was a certain guy big in Chicago. He already got disproved, but he was trying to say that Alan Williams' his house got raided, as well as some other house was in connection to the Chicago Bears. I'll show the tweet popping up right now. That way you guys can get more information. It got disproven, though. Chicago police said they never raided any houses in connection to Alan Williams. And then also a team spokesperson said that was just simply false. The rumors were all fake. So that got disproven. But he is no longer with the team. His defense allowed 65 points through 2 weeks. And so whoever replaces him hopefully is going to find a little bit of an answer to bring that point total down, because that's brutal so far. That's 32.5 points a game. Very hard to beat any team with that. And especially, Justin Fields has been playing well. And speaking of Justin Fields, he came out probably Wednesday morning, maybe Tuesday night, and he had a quote where he said, "It might be the coaching," as the reason for his failure. So that right there, he kind of put the blame on them. It was a big statement from him.
Could be, coaching, I think.
He retracted that statement, saying that it's not coaching. He had a whole lengthy interview, about a minute of comments, so it wasn't that long. But I'll play that video now so that way you guys can see what he said.
You guys' jobs are to get clicks, so it's like, when you take my quote out of context, and when you just say that, if you paint the picture on the inside out, like, y'all are trying to split us up like this. I'm not blaming anything on the coaches. I'm never going to blame anything on the coaches, never going to blame anything on my teammates. I will take whatever happens in the game, I will take all the blame. I don't care. If it's a drop pass, it should have been a pass. Put it on me. But never will you hear anything come out of my mouth to where I will blame it on somebody else. In this organization, my teammates, never will you hear that. So I just want to clear that up and just know that, like, I need to play better. That's it, point blank. If y'all, that's what I should have said in the first place. But I was trying to give y'all more details because I appreciate y'all for doing what y'all do, and I tried to give y'all the information y'all want for you guys' job. So I'm gonna do that, and in the future, but I ask you guys just to put the whole quote up. Don't cut it up into words and pieces to make it seem like I'm saying something that I'm not. So again, appreciate you guys what you do, and y'all bless you.
But as you can see, he then took the blame on himself, put it on himself, and I'm going to guess that's probably his agent in his ear telling him, "Hey, Justin, we can't be talking like that about our coaches. It's going to make our reputation look bad. It's going to make it harder come contract time." Obviously, Fields in his 3rd year. Contract extension, 5th-year option, going to be coming up soon-ish. I'm going to hear the Bears go with that. It's going to be tough to see, if they're going to resign him or not, or extend that option, because he looked pretty brutal out there so far. Obviously, the weapons. I mean, weapons they're better this year with DJ Moore. They added Chase Claypool obviously last year. They're giving up draft capital to surround Justin Fields with talent, but their offensive line has struggled. Their left tackle's now potentially out for the year with a neck injury. So that'll be brutal for that team as well. But we're excited to see if Chicago can turn it around. Historic franchise needs a historic franchise quarterback. They were hoping Justin Fields could be that guy. We'll see if he turns it around. He said that he played robotic, but he's expecting to play on more instinct against the Kansas City Chiefs this week in Week 3. And who knows, maybe Justin will pull a big upset.
Of course, things that I didn't like, I felt like, I wasn't necessarily playing my game. Felt like I was kind of robotic and, not playing like myself. So, my goal this week is just to, say F it and just go out there and, play football how I know how to play football. And that's not.
Okay, now we got a list of a few guys that did not practice. Austin Eckler, Noah Eckler in practice once again today. For your fantasy matchups, that'll be big right there. Obviously, don't play him. The biggest injury report is Friday. If some guy's not practicing on Friday, that's when you kind of pull him out of the squad, know that he's not going to play, or if he does play, he's going to be active, aka running routes with no intention of catching the ball. And for Eckler's sake, might be out there as a decoy, but the main guy will be Kelly in the backfield. Another guy who didn't practice, which is kind of surprising because he looked fine in Week 2, is Justice Hill. Ravens running back. Some of you might have added him on your waiver wire because of J.K. Dobbins' injury. He injured his toe, so he will not be playing in Week 3. But the Ravens have brought in Kenyon Drake. Obviously, he was with the team last year. Kenyon Drake, he looks to be excited to be back with the Ravens. He posted on Twitter a gif of him, scoring a touchdown for the Ravens wearing number 17. So that'll be interesting to see. I wouldn't add him on your waiver wire yet because, who knows that role. Gus Edwards, obviously, number 1. And we still got to see where Melvin Gordon lies in there. So I'd wait this week. But if Kenyon Drake ends up being a workhorse again, and if he plays similar to how he played last year, he might be, worth it to add if Justice Hill's injury is prolonged. Next up, Saquon Barkley officially ruled out. You will not be seeing Saquon Barkley on Thursday night primetime game against the San Francisco 49ers, and that's brutal for an offense that already had issues. Lose their biggest weapon in Saquon. It's going to hurt that team a little bit, but I think, you made Daniel Jones the top 10 highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He's got to find a way to get it done without Saquon. So I'd be interested to see how he plays there, how that offense can turn around. They look good in the second half against the Arizona Cardinals. If the first half New York Giants play against the San Francisco 49ers, they're getting blown out. But if it's the second half Giants, the whole game, we might see a closer game than many expect. To go more into Justice Hill and the Ravens, they had a long injury report, guys that didn't practice today. Odell Beckham, Justice Hill, Odafe Owe, Jadeveon Clowney, Ronnie Stanley, Tyler Linderbaum, Marlon Humphrey, and Marcus Williams. It's 8 players there, and that's not like your depth guys, really. That's not your backups, your third-string running backs out a little bit. These are some key players right here. Marlon Humphrey, cornerback 1. Odafe Owe, number 1, number 2, edge rusher kind of. Jadeveon Clowney, even number 1, number 2 rusher. Ronnie Stanley, the starting left tackle. Tyler Linderbaum, the starting center. Justice Hill, he was a backup, but now he's one of the starters, but he's out, obviously, as we mentioned before. Marcus Williams, the starting safety they paid so much money to go in there and make plays for, and he's been, very inconsistent with being able to find himself on the field. But in better news, we have some signings. Kareem Hunt back with the Cleveland Browns after Nick Chubb officially put on IR, and, they announced his season's over. It's completely over. His knee's torn. There's some ligament damage they fear as well. But Kareem Hunt, he visited the New Orleans Saints this year. He visited the Indianapolis Colts, but in the end, he comes back to the city where he's called home for the past 4 years after being cut from the Kansas City Chiefs over that one video that released of him in the hotel room. Not a good look for Kareem. That's back in the day, though. The NFL, you can do something 1 week, people forget about the next week. Look at Deshaun Watson. He went from being suspended, having all these legal cases. Next thing you know, he's on primetime football, throwing it against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And throwing it is an overstatement because that guy, he's not really cutting it. He's not throwing much. Another thing, Aaron Jones did not practice. It's a big thing for fantasy football. Big thing for the Packers. Jordan Love, he's looked good, but he needs that running game there to rely on. Aaron Jones, great pass catching back as well, but he's not practicing. Doesn't look like he will not be playing. And Bryce Young did also not practice, so no Bryce Young. But I expect him to probably come out there and play Sunday. They're probably just being precautious with him considering he's the number 1 overall pick. Can't risk it. But I think, like I said, we'll know by Friday much more information. If you're not practicing Friday, most likely you're not playing Sunday. So we'll have to keep a lookout for that. Expect a new episode probably coming out tomorrow or Friday, where we'll kind of get more into predicting the Sunday matchups, as well as who might be playing, who might not be playing, and then any big key storylines that develop. But I just wanted to give a quick video for you guys, kind of just touch base, show some news. That way it can be in a quick format where everybody can keep track of the NFL in a good way. I pretty much got all your big news you need, all your clips, all whatnot, all in one-stop shop. TidBit Sports.